Ladies and gentlemen, if you know anything about chess, then you obviously know Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura. Now, if you got into chess at any point in 2020, 2021, you may have associated myself with a lot of Hikaru's content. I was doing a lot of commentary on his Twitch channel alongside International Master Anna Rudolph. We were covering his tournaments. We were doing a lot of sub battles and collabs. But at some point, after about a year and a half of doing a lot of collabs together, I informed them that I really wanted to focus on my own thing. I wanted to focus more on YouTube, do a little bit less streaming. I didn't always want to be associated as the guy who was like trying to, ride Hikaru's coattails or far more offensive things that involved writing of a certain variety. And I decided to focus on my own stuff. And since then, anytime Hikaru and I stream on Twitch, it's always questions about the other person. It's always, do you guys have a beef? Do you guys have this and that? No. In fact, the purpose of today's video is to let you know that we have teamed up. Gotham and Hikaru have formed the Gotham Knights of the Pro Chess League, an online 4 versus 4 rapid league where your average rating has to be 2550. And today is a recap of our first round matchup. It's Gotham Knights, led by Hikaru Nakamura, Grandmaster Liam Lei, and the two international masters, Andy Woodward, who is the world #1 under 12 years old player, as well as Natalia, who's a top 5 Ukrainian woman. That was our lineup for the first week, versus a stacked team of grandmasters from Berlin. So it's Gotham versus Berlin. And folks, when I tell you that today's recap is not what you expect, I mean, you just saw Magnus nearly go down. Let me tell you something right now. This is some wild stuff. Stick around, all right, for the first recap of Gotham versus Berlin. Now, I don't know what's going on chess.com today. Both Hikaru and his opponent have been relegated from US and Germany to God knows where. This event began and Hikaru played this. This is known as the Baloch Defense. And let me tell you something right now. When I saw this, I damn near had a heart attack. Now, Hikaru played this a couple of days ago in Title Tuesday, and of course, he just demolished people. And I was like, all right, listen, I trust the guy. Stockfish is having a little bit of an aneurysm, but as it turns out, if white plays too passively, which his opponent did, and you may ask yourself, why is he playing her? Everybody plays everybody in the Pro Chess League. So if a team of four, there's 16 points up for grabs. So one plays 4, and then it keeps rotating. And there's a link in the description if you want to see more. E5, and Hikaru just did normal things. He developed all his pieces, he played long castle, and he had an excellent position, and he still had 9 minutes on the clock. And I was like, all right, you know what? Hikaru's playing this goofy opening. He's a little bit of, maybe a little bit disrespect speed run, but I saw this position. I was like, oh my God, I mean, he's just completely winning. Like, how does he do this to people? Really, like, it's ridiculous. I mean, this is a 2350 FIDE rated woman. Like, I mean, how she'd destroy all of you? He just plays the Baloch Defense, and he's doing this. I mean, H5, G5. I'm like, look at this position. Now, the computer didn't like G5. Computer thought he could play a little bit more accurately. Hikaru decided, all right, I'm going to take the knight, G4, and knight D5. Like, oh, just galloping into the position. And she just defended. I mean, she was doing her best, right? G3, Hikaru plays, she plays F3. And then Hikaru went here. And right at this moment, I was on the broadcast with Danny Wrench and Robert Hess. And Hikaru's losing. Now I was like, well, Hikaru's losing because it's probably like a 10-move sequence. Well, Hikaru played Queen F6. Because he decided that he was going to invite this move and he was going to checkmate his opponent. He was going to play take, here. Just mate. How do you stop that? You stop that like this. First you do this, and Queen H4 is stopped. And when black goes here, this is mate. This is checkmate. But you know who saves the day? The knight. And I think when Hikaru played Queen F6, and then saw this whole sequence, he just forgot 2 backwards knight moves. And folks, I got news for you. Not all blunders are the same. Some blunders take games from equal to slightly worse. Hikaru is dead lost. C4, game over. Like, The worst type of blunder. It just ends the game. It doesn't matter that she has 2 minutes. Hikaru just down a rook. And she just she sacrifices. She goes check, queen d6, and literally just makes a new queen, and he resigns the game. Like, I was like, what just happened? Hikaru lost to their board 4. Oh my god, no. Now, in the back of my mind, I had a feeling we would be all right. I had a feeling. But let me tell you something right now. If you ask me how would I like to start this match, it's not Hikaru losing to the board 4. I'm terrified. I'm like, what is... So we lose the first match 3-1. Hikaru loses. Liam on board 2 wins. Andy Woodward and Natalia both go down. So we're down 3-1. Now, what do we know about being down 3-1? Well, if you're the Golden State Warriors, a whole hell of a lot. But I don't like, 3-1 is a scary scoreline. So it's now, I mean, we gotta bounce back in the next round, right? In the next round, we have a matchup, Dimitri Kalars, GM Dimitri, versus Natalia Buxa. Their ratings are much higher than this. These are their chess.com rapid ratings, and nobody title plays rapid online because we play Blitz and Bullet because we all have ADHD. Nobody can focus for that long. So all these ratings are fake. I mean, Dimitri is like 2,600. Natalia is like 23 something or 2,400 FIDE. And this game was an anti-Sicilian, like knight c3, trying to play for d4. We will have multiple Hikaru games later. Fret not. d3, d6. And I mean, Natalia, she's getting super GM'd here. All right, he's trying to give up the second bishop, and he's trying to just grind out like a solid positional victory. And she's like, well, I'm not going to take. I'm going to play rook c8. And then I'm going to play here in g6 and come back all the way to b8 and now to d7. Rock solid position for black. Dimitri plays bishop d5. She plays here and here. And he has a lot of good going for him in this position, but in chess, it's not about having a lot of good going for you. Like, you got to win the game. So he goes for it, d4. d4 doesn't come without risks. They both have 250 on the clock, and the position is dead equal, right? So he understands that he's got it. Like, he has to win the game. That's basically all it is. Well, his risk is quite handsomely rewarded. Pawn takes, knight takes, takes. And I mean, the clamp is beginning, and he's playing fast. Dimitri is a 3,000 rated bullet player, but Natalia will not be denied. F5, hitting the center 3 times. And now queen hits the knight. Rook b4, queen goes to f7. We have a trade, but here comes Kalars. She takes, he takes, she takes. Queen b2, pinning the rook to the king. f4. All right? And now Kalars is winning if he plays check and takes. And I don't know how he didn't see that. That's just a free pawn. Queen b8. He's got no time on the clock, so he goes here. I mean, they got 20 seconds, right? So blunders are going to happen. Knight d7, he still infiltrates. He's getting closer. Knight f6 takes. Rook d6. Queen a6 was better here. But here, she gives a check. Natalia has forced the draw. In a crazy time scramble, 10 seconds each, she plays queen g3, and here is a draw. Take, here, and back. But here is mate! Rook e2. You can give a check. The king is safe. Kalars had to go here because this is rook g1. He plays the wrong move and loses. And our board 4 beats their board 2. As far as I'm concerned, Kalars is their board 1. I think he's the best player on the team. So the board 4s take down arguably the best players. Well, on our team, Hikaru is the best player. Kalars and Svane are very close. But as far as I'm concerned, board 4 beats board 1. What? What is going on in this match? This is crazy. So we have to, so first of all, that happens. Second of all, in the second game, yeah, I mean, Liam was just Liam was just unbelievable. Like, for us, he was, in the early going after Hikaru's setback, Liam was just playing smart, solid chess. He was just, doesn't matter, queens off the board, sending us to a multiple piece middle game, end game, equal material, but just grinding it down. Grinding down, positional game. Look at this poor knight. Look at the poor knight. He wins a pawn, rock solid. He's gonna win a second pawn. He wins the second pawn. He's now up 2. I mean, it was smooth like butter, criminal undercover. Like, oh my goodness. Kwang Liam was so good in the first few rounds. He was not to be denied. He played, I gotta show you this game. He had a game against Rasmus Svanek, who was their board 1, all right? It was a Catalan. Rasmus Svanek rock solid. You know, Catalan, he's defending the position. And then my guy Liam plays knight e4, brings the knight back, brings his queen out, brings his knight back, brings his rook up and over in a couple of moves, and he just launches a monster attack on Rasmus Svanek. He plays knight into f6, h4, knight drops back, h5, d5, and the black position is completely falling apart. Takes, queen e4, g4, you move the knight, it's mate. 5 seconds on the clock for Rasmus Svanek. He plays queen g7, and Liam ends this game in style. He trades rooks, he opens it up. He doesn't take the queen. Queen h7 and the Arabian mate. He checkmated him, and he said, Habibi, good game. Rook h7, Liam getting it done. Liam, in his first 3 rounds, was 3-0, and it wasn't even close. He was so good. He was so sharp. And while Liam was taking care of business, all right, you knew Hikaru needed to bounce back. So what did he do? What did Hikaru do in order to bounce back? He played a cagey, aggressive opening against Frederick Svanek. So they're brothers. All right, we got Frederick and Rasmus. It's like playing an anime team. And the engine always thinks that these King's Indian style games are very, very promising for black. All right, so b3, a3, c4, and so on. Now, knight d4, knight f3, and he had a nice position, but look at Hikaru. Hikaru's like, all right, I lost that first game. Time to go. g5. Full steam ahead on this side of the board. Black trying to defend himself. Hikaru bringing the rooks over. Knight takes e5. He's got the rook taking on c5 and queen g4. And the black position is hanging on by a thread. This, pressure, rook c7, bishop d5, this, f4. You know, I'm just trying to do my best Hikaru impression. Bishop d4 back. And now there it is. f4. If bishop takes f4, queen takes f4. You can't take because of this. If check, then I drop back. So bishop h6, and Hikaru just went in and found this beautiful little idea to hit the rook and bishop f5. And a powerful bounce back win from Hikaru, who makes sure that first round game was nothing but a fluke. He and Liam were just doing wonders. And you know who was also awesome? All right, this dude. I don't know what happened to their flags. They just completely removed their flags. It's weird. So, Philippines 46, Bible verse. That's not Andy's official name. His name is Andy Woodward. See, the guy playing with black, his name is right there. So, Frederick Svanek. This was a last round game. Berlin needed to make a comeback. The only way that they were going to survive this match was by making a comeback. And Andy had a nice position with some decent pressure. So, you know, the grandmaster opponent playing with black, he's got to fight back. He's got to play for a win. And then Andy finds this really nice idea, sacrificing his pawn to play this and knight f6, knight h5. This is so smart, forcing a draw. The king cannot escape. If king goes here, I have this and I win. And if king g8, knight f6, and if this, then this. Andy Woodward, with the white pieces in the final round, we're winning, so draws get us to the end, taking down the grandmaster, the seasoned veteran, with the nifty little trick to jump his knight in and sacrifice it. Knight h5. If you take, check, and it's a draw. It's a geometric draw. You cannot escape. Super clutch idea from him. Andy was nice in the match. He ended up with 1.5 out of 4. I mean, he did what he had to do as a board 3 against the tank 3 Grandmaster lineup. Andy Woodward was no joke. And when you needed him most, the big boss came back. All right? This game encapsulates everything it is to play against Hikaru. All right? Like, knight f3, d5, this is board 1s. All right? These are the gladiators, the board 1s, dead symmetrical position. Hikaru's opponent plays c4. He takes, and Hikaru played this against Magnus. He actually played this in a recent match against Magnus. Knight a3, c5, and so on. DC, knight a6, here, knight d4, knight d5, and knight c4. Now, if you just take a look at this position, it's completely symmetrical after 10 moves. I mean, Hikaru was going full meme mode. Full meme mode. All right? Knight c4, knight b4, take. And then right here, something happened. There was a forcing sequence Hikaru went for, which is bishop d4, ab4, cb2. Now, a lot of things are happening here. Hikaru's bishop is hanging, right? So, this sequence after cb2, queen d4, the engine gives an absolutely stupid move here, which is knight c3. The queens face each other if you take knight e2, but if this, then black has take, queen d5, f3, take, bishop h6, here, and like king f8 and draw. ba, 5 pawns each, draw. But Hikaru plays this first. He does not play knight c3, and suddenly Hikaru started like seriously doubting the position on stream. It was being relayed to me because he doesn't stream with the chat because of fair play. But people were saying Hikaru thinks he's losing. He just thinks he's straight up lost. I was like, what? And I think he thought he was losing because of knight a5. With really big problems for the black position. Like if black just tries to fight like this, suddenly this and mate. And if you try to stop mate, rook c1. And white's pieces are just absolute monsters. I mean, every piece white has is asking for problems. It's a really tough position. All right? I mean, it's but this is like no joke. Absolutely no joke. So, bishop h6, knight f6, bishop b7, queen b7 is what gets played in the game. Hikaru thought that after queen c7, knight a5, yeah, that's I mean, he thought he was under. Now, the computer here finds a way. It finds a way to defend the position. But Rasmus plays one move that's not accurate. When you play one move that's not accurate against Hikaru, it's over. Remember his first round game that he lost to the board 4? That blunder, there was no coming back from. It was like a catastrophic blunder. A 1 in a million blunder. Lightning strike type of blunder. Rasmus gives back the advantage. Hikaru very quickly consolidates. Dead symmetry, right? Oh. Equal. Game is a draw. Not when you play Hikaru. He sneaks in. Rook comes out. Queen comes out. Queen comes forward. And suddenly, 2 minutes, 19 seconds, and Hikaru does what he does to people all the time. He gets an endgame. He absolutely freezes the white pieces, and white has 10 seconds to defend himself in a dead equal endgame. But it's not dead equal, because Hikaru grabs the pawn, and he forces the white knight back, infiltrates with his rook and his knight, and it's over. The pawns all fall like dominoes, and it's the D pawn that's going to walk forward, and Hikaru seals the deal for the Gotham Knights. Seals the deal, folks. Knight in the corner, and Gotham Knights win 9-7 in our opening round matchup against the Berlin Bears. Score breakdown, Hikaru ended with 3, lost the first game, won the next 3. Liam won his first 3 games. He was 3 for 3, but he lost in the last round to Kalars, who I think is probably the best player on that team. Kalars had great positions like the whole day. Really, he had really tough games. He's definitely the superstar, I think, on the Berlin team. Tough match. But I would be willing to bet that Hikaru and Fedosseev, who is also on our roster, are a nasty 1-2 combo. The Canada Chess Bros have Magnus and Giri. We have Hikaru and Liam, and I got news for you. We got the world #1 under 12, Andy Woodward. He had 1.5 points. Natalia Buksa was clutch, beating Kalars in a time scramble. We also have Nurgul Salimova, who's an international master from Bulgaria with a grandmaster norm. This team is stacked, and what we're gonna do every time the Gotham Knights win, we will be doing 10 free course giveaways on Chessly. Give away 10 courses. The only thing you have to do is have an account. And it's completely free to sign up. You can go to Chessly in the description, click on any course, click free sample. That's it. If you literally takes 5 seconds, you have an account with us. And if you win, we will let you know. Every time the Gotham Knights win, we will raffle off. You know what? Make it 15. 15 courses. I just made that change. I told my guys 10. We're going to do 15. We're going to give away 15 courses of your choosing. We will contact you. All you got to do is sign up. Massive win for us. Congratulations to all the players. Very, very good team effort. Pro Chess League is underway. More info in the description. I'll see you in the next video. Get out of here. Also, ain't no beef between myself and Hikaru. Y'all gotta stop that nonsense. Now, goodbye.